What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to the Varsity Overland channel, and today we are in Vermont to camp and explore some Class 4 roads. For those of you unfamiliar with Vermont, the Green Mountain State has a unique classification for its least maintained and treacherous forest roads. These Class 4 roads make up a network of trails throughout the state and includes some of the sections of the Northeast BDR. Today, we'll explore some of these roads for the first time and hopefully make it to camp before dark. Spoiler alert, we don't. So I literally just said to Jeremy over the radio, wow, these unmaintained roads in Vermont are the only experience that I have of Vermont, for the most part. And I was like, are they all like this? And then he comes over the radio and goes, all right, we just entered the first of our Class 4 roads in Vermont. And I was like, oh, okay, that makes sense. Has to be unmaintained for 10 years to be considered a Class 4. So, duh. These famous roads are legendary within the overland and off-road community here in the Northeast. Not just for the technical challenges they offer, but also for their ability to immerse travelers in the pure Vermont wilderness. And in order to be classified as a Class 4 road by Vermont, the road has to be unmaintained for at least 10 years, and some of them are much older than that. And our best chance of enjoying the experience without falling victim to the unforgiving terrain is by airing down our tires. As content creators, we find ourselves stopping quite a bit while on the trail. Between adjusting the tire pressure, setting up cameras, and flying drones, it's easy to forget that the most important part should be simply enjoying the experience. And as you'll see in a minute, sometimes we even forget that others might be on these trails as well. After some time, we realized a small group of quads had snuck up behind us. And without pulling off the trail, which is a big tread lightly no-no, there was no way for them to easily pass us. And just as we began considering that we might have to put our filming plans on hold, we approached this trail's gatekeeper, which offered a large pull-off just wide enough to let our followers pass. Luckily, the group of four-wheelers were very nice, and in fact, were even impressed that our trucks could tackle this obstacle's steep approach angle. Well, that was pretty cool. I usually lean to the timid side when it comes to off-roading, so to have those guys question whether or not we were going to go up that rock, I think that's saying something for my progress.
Yeah, no, that's definitely saying something, because again, that's considered a green, maybe borderline blue obstacle, because the Class 4 road we're on is currently green, and it becomes a green right at that obstacle. It ends as a blue and becomes a green.
Obstacles like this are often referred to as gatekeepers. These are specific spots on the trail that are particularly challenging when compared to the overall trail rating. Things like boulders, washout sections, or deep water crossings that might cause less experienced drivers to turn around. So we had to take a quick detour on our way to the grocery store so that Jeremy could help explain to me this trail that he completed, the VOT Challenge Trail, Pink Plus Trail, second hardest trail in Vermont, technically a Class 4 road. And I wish I could get a good angle, but of course none of this shows up good on camera, but I'm stunned. This is stupid. That's stupid.
What,
Just look at
that? It doesn't, I mean, it doesn't look that bad on camera.
Nothing looks that bad on camera. Oh my God. Listen, I am thoroughly, I watched the video, but I am thoroughly impressed that you were able to get your truck. We haven't even walked 30 yards. And I'm scared, and we're not even doing this. This is insane. Go watch the video. Go to AT4 Overland Bound channel, watch the video, tell me if you agree. That's disgusting. This is disgusting. Most of the major off-road organizations in Vermont use some form of trail rating system to classify the difficulty of the terrain, and this one is labeled by all as extremely challenging. So I opted to say no thank you and voted that we head back into town instead. So, unfortunately, Jeremy's favorite spot that we were going to use is taken. Of course, right? You always want to get to that one spot that you're looking forward to the whole trip, and then it's like, oh, can't use it. But you could probably see it reflecting off of my window. The sky's doing this really cool orange thing right now with the clouds. So yeah, that's pretty cool. Jeremy just moved up ahead to check another spot that he sees on X, and hopefully we could take that, because it is getting a little chilly. We got the food, we're ready to cook and just kind of like, you know, start setting up camp. We pulled into camp with only seconds of daylight to spare, and I was quickly reminded of the real challenge Vermont would offer me this weekend: surviving freezing temperatures in my thin Gazelle ground tent. Cooking time.
Time for some food. Where's the burgers?
Where's the burgers? They're in here.
Okay. Well, I need those.
Most important thing: burgers and tater salad.
Yeah.
Let's see what these little Vermont markets have to show us. with their meats. All right, folks. Chef Jeremy has done it again. Hot dog, hamburger, tater salad. We're gonna take this into the Gazelle gazebo over by the fire. We also got the fire can lit in there so that we're nice and toasty. And this is where we're gonna end it because my camera is terrible in the dark. So, see you in the morning. Well, good morning, people. It is a frigid morning here in Vermont. We did get some rain overnight last night. Luckily, we were already in the tents once the rain started to fall, but some of the water on Jeremy's tailgate from the rain was frozen when we got up this morning. So it was a cold one. It was a cold one last night. We're both getting up pretty early, hoping to pop the drones in the air to see maybe if we can glimpse a sunrise or maybe a snow-capped peak of a nearby mountain. It is a little windy, so the drones might be questionable. We'll give it a shot. We'll see what happens. But yeah, I used the Gazelle last night, the ground tent, and I can confirm that if you have a heat source, it still works great in cold weather. So my heat source was the fire can. I ended up bringing that into the tent with me. I used it to remove the chill, I guess you could say. So I did not sleep with the fire can going. I didn't have an open flame while I was asleep. I had it on for about an hour while I was just kind of sitting on my phone and scrolling through the footage from yesterday. Along with my heated blanket. I shut it off, fell asleep, woke up around 5, turned it back on for an hour while I just kind of chilled in the tent, and then started moving around 6 o'clock. So if you have a heat source, probably something a lot safer than an open flame, then you could probably go all night with your Gazelle in cold temperatures and be just fine. So that was a nice little discovery. You know, now I may take it out a little bit more often during these colder months. But yeah, we're just kind of packing up camp. I've already got everything all set inside the truck. Jeremy's starting to pack up his situation right now, and we'll see what we can get into. So this is Jeremy's favorite spot in Vermont that we were trying to reach yesterday. Ironically, he said that he popped the drone in the air this morning and he didn't see anybody here, so that's why we're able to explore it. So the people that were here yesterday either didn't stay the night or they just got up really early, even earlier than us, and peaced out. So yeah, I could see why this is your favorite spot. Got a river flowing in the background, pretty big enough for a couple rigs to fit in here. Comes with its own picnic table.
That actually wasn't there the last time I used it.
So someone had to drag that in here. All right, folks. Well, we're not quite out of the woods yet, but we are stopping to air up the tires, and I think we're gonna call it a day for this video. Comment down below if you've ever explored the Class 4 roads of Vermont. I have definitely done at least 1 or 2 in the past, but most of my Vermont experience is a lot of Forest Service roads. So thankfully, Jeremy was able to introduce me to some of the Class 4 roads that he's familiar with. And I gotta say, for these to be once considered like a legitimate real road and to just like degrade the way they do over time because of no maintenance, they're like trails. They're like difficult trails. We didn't do any of like the hardest ones, obviously, but I was impressed. I was definitely impressed. So comment down below if you've ever explored any Class 4 roads of Vermont, And yeah, that's going to be it. So I appreciate you watching, and I'll see you next time. Peace, people.